pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, welcome to our regular July 13th meeting. We'll start off with citizens' minutes from June 15th. Are there any?
You might say to the public that the attorney had to cancel the special order.
Oh, yes, the special order business. We did have Tom Neeser, our real estate attorney, that was going to be here to talk with us, but he could not make it tonight, so we are going to reschedule that meeting with him. And then now minutes. Any changes? Everything good? Okay. Citizens' comment.
Can I go back to Tom Neeser? He would be available Monday, August 10th.
Okay, and that's our regular scheduled meeting.
Would everybody be available at 4? He'd really like to come at 4.
Yeah, we can make that happen. Or I can make that happen. I don't know what you guys have.
I know Mondays are tough, but we have to sort of work around a guy that's making $500 an hour.
If we're paying that much, you'd think he'd work around us.
I think he's pretty busy.
Yes.
Okay.
August
I will see.
August 10th, yeah. So it's our regular scheduled meeting.
Okay. It is, okay.
Just it'll be at 4,
At 4.
right?
Well, I'm talking to the council,
Yes.
not to the crowd. Yeah,
Yeah.
4 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's what I'll go for.
Yeah.
And double check with you.
Yep.
The 10th is a.
Okay. Now the minutes you've done, okay.
Yes. All right. There's no citizens' comment. We'll start with departments and we'll start with police.
We made it to the festival. Minimal issues, not too anything major.
Yeah.
Obviously, the fireworks have started to settle down. We're still having some of those still going on, but it's settled quite a bit from the week prior.
Yes.
So, training with Mike is going very well.
Good.
A lot of compliments on him.
Good.
Glenn spent some time with him over the festival time, and he made a comment he was going to try to snag him over there for his department. That was in jest. That was
Okay.
totally in jest, but everything's doing pretty good. Just
Good.
kind of busy right at the moment.
Awesome. Okay.
And refresh my memory, when will he be on?
I'm sorry, August 31st is when he'll start academy.
Okay.
He did. He went through the physical agility and did pass that 2 weeks ago, on the 26th, I think it was. So he passed physical agility. They have to take a pre-physical agility before they go through the academy.
Okay.
He passed that, so he's good to go for August 31st.
Okay.
August 1st.
All right. Fire department.
I believe from an email Scott sent that meeting has been moved to the 23rd.
Okay.
Does that work for everybody?
Does that work for everybody?
When's that?
The 23rd
The
instead
meeting that
of the
was supposed to
20th?
be on the 20th, Scott scheduled with Linda for the 23rd.
And I sent an email back to her email, but you guys weren't in it because the wrong names were on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why we're going to clarify right now.
So are we still thinking 4 o'clock?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock?
5 o'clock
Good?
should be.
Yeah.
Everybody? Okay.
Okay, the utility street manager is still out on the water leak on First Street. And so you have his report there. I don't think there's anything really there. What they're doing there is Ron, did you stop there tonight?
I did.
You did. They're realigning it all.
I didn't have time to talk to him. I
Yeah, well, I'm
drove
just
by.
saying that they're realigning is what they were doing today. The secondary leak, the first leak, they put together and that worked, so they're doing that on the bad section of the line. But at some time we're going to want because there's been leaks there before.
Okay.
So at some time we might have Ben look at that.
Okay.
And I think he's got the second page. He had some street cuts, and we talked about getting from Hasty seal coating, but he would need to probably get a second quote if that's what you would so desire. Second quote.
Yeah.
He was going to try to make it, but as of what?
What's the ruling or whatever that says if you do something, whether you have 1 or 2 quotes or 3 quotes?
It's a council policy.
So everything we paid to have done is 2 quotes, or?
At least 2. It used to be 3.
Okay.
But with companies, I don't want to say falling, but whatever.
Well, a lot of them consolidate and everything
Yeah,
else. But okay.
council's now said 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Income survey, well, okay, Mike Klein Peter called today. That's been delayed because Okra has a new policy now. And it's going to take about a month to get it set up with Okra before, I mean, we will still be sending information. But there's been a delay, and there will be forms sent this week that the council president will need to sign just to move it forward with Okra. It won't, it's just a signature that,
Okay.
that's it.
Alrighty. Awesome. New business, I have requested that we reorganize as a council, partly because of my sitting in on the park board, and timing, or time commitment that may require. So, I guess I'll just open up the floor for nominations of president and vice president.
Well, Ron's next in line as far as time on the board.
Yes, and right now with I don't know that I would be an adequate president because of my time windows of.
None of us probably. That's the way it is.
But,
Okay.
yeah, I had thought about it, but I'm afraid I just wouldn't be available when needed, and it would hinder.
Would I be able to make a motion that we
Somebody needs to.
I just,
Ron's continue as vice president and Scott as president?
Marilyn, you're well aware.
I can't be
I
president.
know, but you're well aware of my time restraints, but I will.
But we'll adjust to it.
I can't, I mean, there's just, unfortunately, there's a lot of times I'm gone. I mean,
Okay.
The
that's
good
what happened this
thing-
coming Monday,
The
so.
good thing, Scott, you are in town, like when these documents come through, that you are available.
Okay.
That's.
Yeah, I mean,
probably
I don't have a problem with it. I just
Yeah.
want to be right up front about it.
and that's a problem. At times I don't even have cell access at
Okay.
certain facilities.
Yeah.
I have to lock it up, and I can be unavailable
Okay.
for hours at a time.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, Ron?
Yes.
You? Megan? Michelle?
Yes.
And Scott?
Yes.
Okay. This will take time, because there's several whatevers that have to be notified now.
Yep.
So this is going to be a couple month process here of getting your name on everything with IDEM and everything, so.
That's fine.
Then Scott had asked for meetings to be changed to Wednesdays. I would ask that you hold that till, because I've already notified DLGF of the budget calendars, so delay that until toward the end of the year.
Okay. You guys okay with
That's
that?
okay with
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good with
Yeah.
Wednesdays, and then that would be Wednesdays at 5 o'clock. I don't have the budget calendar right in front of me. I think we adopt that at the October meeting.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
October.
Meeting.
So, or you could just do it at the beginning of next year. That'd be easier. I'll leave that to you.
Okay, and then the fire department meeting, I'll get a hold of the fire department and let them know that that's
Okay,
being
thank
moved.
you.
Yep, yeah.
So that's the July 20th, the 4 and 5 meeting. That's what we talked about with the.
Yeah, the July 23rd.
Yeah, the 4 we couldn't do anyway because that guy canceled. So
Right,
then 5 was
okay.
gonna be the fire department, so now 5 would just be the fire department on the 23rd.
All right.
It's very confusing.
There are lots of.
Well, we gotta make sure everybody knows so that we don't get in trouble, right?
It'll be in the minutes.
Okay.
Okay, the claims register is in the amount of $338,438.63. This is the same register that you received on Friday. There weren't any changes, so is that by consensus then?
Yes.
Yes.
Financial report, I'll move to the later section there. The accounts payable for payroll is $39,500, whoops, no it's not, it's $41,206.82. If you notice the overtime, there was overtime with some overtime work on electric and whatever. Back here, you see
There it
the,
is, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
The overtime is generally $113.56, and there were some times it was more, but not major.
I was gonna say, I didn't see anything major on there.
No,
It's
it's
just
just
the
for, a lot of it was water regular, sewer regular, up here's, when it says regular,
Yes,
that's
That's
their
just the-
checking of the
yeah.
plants.
yeah.
And, so yeah, it was pretty much, so that's consensus. All right, well, let's talk about what's in front of you then here.
Okay.
I'm really glad to have the opportunity to have a short meeting so we can discuss a little bit about the budget, because we have a couple new people. First of all, you have your June financial report, and we've talked about these before, so this is showing on the right-hand side is your balances for the end of June. Those balances are what is used to prepare the 2027 budget in preparation for that. So I also printed it with investments, and let's just do the budget first.
Okay.
So your next is, it's called the draft of the budget, and what I've done for you here, and this is not finalized. I meet with DLGF on the 29th. This is where I am right now with the budget. And I've made notations on it to help. As we talked before, the first section in general fund is personal services. And that's what you're seeing as some increases here. Salaries, overtime. So what you see, where the check marks are, means it's the same as it was last year.
Okay.
Where there's an amount written, it means that I haven't, where it says advertised is 2027. That's just the way the forms read.
Okay.
It hasn't been advertised. So you see, retirement had to go up. You'll have 3 officers. FICA went up a bit. Group insurance went up 10. And a reminder that until Mike and Austin are settled, some of these may change, but remember that between the 100 numbers here, these transfers can be made within my books.
Right.
All right. So then you go into, and you're going to take this with you and look at it, I hope. Office supplies, all of our receipts that we have to use have all gone way up in price. So I increased that just by 1,000. The police office supplies, I don't know what's coming there, tickets and whatever. Fire operating, their expenses will go up. So you'll see that it's just pretty standard. Park, for operating supplies, I increased that to 10,000 because there's going to be work out there through the projects next year. Police vehicles, this is supplies. This is gasoline and whatever.
Okay.
And stop, if you have a question, just stop me. We've sort of gone through it, but
Can I just ask, is this, I mean, is there a percentage you use every year, or is it just,
No,
like you said,
oops.
office supplies are way up, is you just are seeing it as you see it
Yes.
in real time, so you're increasing?
I didn't bring it tonight, but you've seen what was called an appropriation report. So on the right side of the appropriation report, it says you have this much left. So by June, you don't want to see more than half of it used.
Right.
Unless it's like town insurance, which is all paid in the first part of the year.
Okay.
So I look at that, and then I know where we're going with, like, these receipts we just received last week were $275. They've never been that much. And, yeah,
Okay.
that's where I'm going.
Okey-doke.
Good question, though. So anyway, when you go through here, but I want to really go General, you can just keep going through general and you'll just see, you can see where the increases are. Insurance, when you go down halfway on the back of that page, I upped that because it's been going up 10 or 11%. Utility services, the town's going to maybe increase some rates, so I raised that. The rest of us just knowing dues PR meetings, we're running short there, but that's the interesting thing is when you hosted the war meeting, it has to come out of that appropriation, even though Commonwealth reimbursed us. It still has to come out of that appropriation.
So we have to
So,
budget
yeah.
for it. Okay. So can I stop you there then? Because I was thinking, like, if we apply for a grant, say that the police grant that we were talking about, that could cover some of the police.
Yeah, that's a separate matter though.
But
Yeah,
but
it is.
we would still have to budget for it in.
I don't know about that.
Okay, because like the police vehicles one where you talk about gas
Well,
and stuff.
there's more to come on that anyway. So,
Okay.
The last one is the fire comp, and I
Yeah.
increased it because according to what Linda's gonna present to you, that the reimbursement for each each fireman is
firefighter.
gonna be doubled or more.
Okay.
So I increased that. I don't know that it'll be that much, but I don't know where we're going with it.
So, if they start charging for these runs, can that money go towards this compensation? Does compensation have to come from us?
That's what no, the compensation has to come from us.
Has to come from us?
Yes.
Okay.
And some of the discussion you're gonna have Wednesday night is how you want to handle the fire run money and whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I'm gonna, so you've got the concept there. By the way, then, if, Annette, capital outlays, law enforcement, 1,000, I want to remind you that is a drug buy. That's required by statute, that there has to be a fund available. And that's a fund, if Dennis comes and says, I need 500 in cash, I cannot ask him what it's for or anything. I have to give him $500 in cash. Anyway, that's been used a few times. Above that fire department, you'll see that last year we budgeted 150,000. This year we're budgeting 50,000. So that's where we've picked up some money there. And then the miscellaneous last year was 200,000, but I reduced it to 170,000. Now that basically is for capital, like if a fire truck broke down or whatever. But at the end of the year, you as council, if we were running short somewhere, could transfer that over to any of those others.
Okay.
And it happens on occasion.
Did we max out the 200,000 last year, or was it?
I wish I
Okay.
didn't
Don't
think
know
to
what
bring
we
that.
did about that.
So right there, where we're looking at that,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't say fire, because you got fire up here, and then you got law enforcement, you got miscellaneous. So that miscellaneous is,
Miscellaneous.
I mean, for all departments then?
It can be, yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes, yeah. So, anyway, yes, that's what it can be transferred
You
by
can be
council.
transferred, that one. can.
By council.
Those others
anything.
cannot, that
To
one
any of
can.
these other
It can
ones?
also be used for housing development, it's just there.
Okay.
Motor vehicle highway, and Dustin and I have been talking about paving. So the personal services are pretty cut and dry, just like the other. And so are the operating. But if you go to the back page here, you will see, you go on page 4, down 3/4 of the way. You'll see last year 100,000 was in paving. This year, since Wayne Street's done and we know what we have, I upped that to 200,000. Now the question that's going to come to you as council, and the question that Dustin and I have, how do you want to pave? So you're going to need to make that decision. Do you want to use 200,000 toward a community crossings grant, which the 200,000 would be 25%, so you could have an $800,000 community crossings grant, with 200,000 as your match. Or you could say, nah, we'll just do it on little paving projects. So that's a decision that you need to talk with Dustin about and get his feelings. When we did what was called a PASER study. Yes, you remember the PASER?
That's what I was getting ready to ask.
Yeah,
What
we
was
did a
flagged on that?
PASER study, and it rates our streets. It rated our streets. And that's why 11th Street was done, because it's a entrance area. That's why Wayne Street was done, because it's entrance area. The next one would be 3rd Street. There are smaller streets that need some work. And you could work that in because you have, if you go on up here, you have paving in other places too, 25,000. But down here in Capitol, this means it's gonna be a bigger project usually.
Okay.
So can I ask this question? With the community crossings grant, like I know that we've done one street at a time, like a bigger street. Are you able to do it with multiple streets?
That's a question Dustin and I are looking into.
Okay.
Yeah, because the ones that we've looked up and I've looked up have always been one major
Yeah.
street, but I've not seen anything that says it can't be.
Okay.
So we're sort of looking into that.
Okay.
So that grant you're talking about, that's just, you pick a street and then you just redo that street with that grant?
But it has sidewalks, you can do sewer work on it.
Okay.
All that's considered.
Let's say community crossing, so to me, my first thing about my head is we're gonna go move
I
all
don't
of
know
our
why it's
all of our
called-
crosswalks, or what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
That's why I was
Yeah,
asking.
Yeah, you can do sidewalks.
Okay.
Curbs, 11th Street, it was about $1,025,000, I think, altogether. Wayne Street ended up $1 million, and all the sidewalks. And now the
Okay.
water project was separate.
Okay.
That was a separate thing. 3rd Street has been done from Grover Street on out a bit. So it might be a shorter, but you can apply it. When we got $1 million, that was the largest a small town had got. So we've had good luck with it. On both streets, we've been allowed to do pretty major projects.
Awesome.
I'd like to see us go for it again, but I also don't want to rule out all the other areas that are smaller in town, because it's
Well,
for-
that's a dual that's a dual
know.
statement there, because what you can do. Where is the paving? If you go back, well, first of all,
Well, if we have to cut a street, and so then that street's gotta be repaired, the town pays for that, if we're cutting it for water access or whatever.
well, the department that cut it does.
Okay, so that could come out of a separate department then, is what you're saying?
No, it can come out of a separate. Where is it here? Repair. They have a street patch. You can-
patching,
Okay.
paving, that
Patch.
25,000.
And you have.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Paving here.
Okay.
You have right up above that, patching and paving for 25,000.
Yeah, you get the
Now
street patch for
remember,
fine,
when
yeah.
you're working with this budget, you can take that 25,000 and you can make it 50 by transferring from other locations, let's say toward the, as a rule, the town has always bid in the winter for the spring. Because if you bid in the spring, you are in with their big projects. So let's say you say, we're gonna bid, I don't know which streets. He mentioned the smaller streets out toward the park. So you bid those streets and it comes in at 40,000. Then you can say, well, okay, we're not gonna do this, whatever you choose, and we'll put that money with the 25 and do it out of there. The budget is a guesstimate of what you
Yeah.
are going to be able to spend. Once you budget doesn't mean that you have the money to spend. It means you want to spend that much, and my job is to say, we can find the money to support this budget. Within that budget, you can make, well, you see the county do it every meeting, additional appropriations or transfer of money. We don't do that much, but you can.
Okay.
So if you bid a street that comes in at 30,000 and you have 25 You can say, well, we'll take, from equipment miscellaneous, we'll move 5 down. Because you bid it toward the end of the year, so you're gonna know what you
Yeah.
have.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's, unfortunately, people look at it as cut and dried, and it's just not. I mean,
What's the
my job is to make sure we don't overspend.
Right, right. So
And that's when I said, sometimes when you guys say, okay, we'll do that, it's like, is anybody gonna ask me if we have the money? I mean, especially toward the end of the year.
What's the date on the budget? What's the?
You have the calendar, you are going to, it's scheduled to be adopted in September. So at the next meeting, the August meeting, you'll have a clear, almost final picture
Okay.
of what I'm submitting for your consideration. I meet with her on the 29th of July.
Okay. But they have to be in by October or something, right?
They have to be in by November.
November, okay.
But you have to have a public hearing, and since
Right.
you only meet once a month.
Yeah, you gotta have the hearing
It's, that's why I gave you that.
10 days before and blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. Yeah.
I gave you the
Okay.
schedule and said, please try to work around
Yeah.
these dates.
Okay.
Where are we in this?
Page 5.
Okay, well, let's move along. Some of the others, on page 5, and this is, we've talked about this, but I want to repeat it, it's cumulative fire spatial fund. That's what we paid the fire truck out of, or some of the fire truck.
Right.
That rate is set by the state. So I take its point, what was I gonna tell you? It's, I don't know. And so that's what she'll tell me. That's numbers I don't have yet.
Oh, okay, so that 42,000, you're not sure what that is?
No.
Okay,
It can be budgeted, but doesn't mean.
that's
yeah.
what it has to be, okay.
And then you come down to cumulative capital development. That rate is also set by the state,
Okay.
but that's part of your levy. You can only have one cumulative fund outside your levy, and that's your cum fire.
Okay.
So the cumulative capital development is right at 5 cents. So anyway, and I want to bring up, looking at, when you look at other capital outlays in cumulative capital development, you'll see quite an increase there. A lot of that's because when the budget for 2026 was done, we didn't know whether we're going to be using all that money. So the money that we planned in 25 didn't happen. So now we can put it into the 27 budget.
Okay, but that's also what could potentially go way down in 28?
Well, there, interestingly
Possibly,
enough,
maybe
there's,
not.
no, from AIM, the
Okay.
Accelerated Indiana Municipalities, there is discussion right now that cities and towns will be covered.
Okay,
And the MUST meeting that meets in Huntington with all the towns in the city, they presented that too.
Okay.
So, but nobody's gonna know about that till 27.
Okay.
TIF district, okay, let's go down here to, what else did I wanna tell you? And part of this, moving money forward, per what Greg told you that you need to start.
Yep.
So I'm moving, so while it says let's say the budget is 50,000, there may be 100,000,
in there.
but you'll see that at the end. I mean, not usually, but we move money forward from this budget into 27, and that's how
Right.
you save money. You
Yeah.
know that.
Yep.
You can't just put it over here and save it, but you can move it forward.
Move it forward.
Move it forward.
Pay it forward.
TIF district, I want to point that out since Everfresh is paying their property taxes now. We're going to see a substantial amount, and that can go toward the sewer project,
Oh,
Oh, nice.
as Greg had told you that. So you see that I'm projecting quite a bit there. The 60,000 is what the TIF district pays for the sewer bond, for the current sewer bond. Because part of that, we calculated out how much would go here, and the TIF could pay, Greg did all that. And so they could pay 5,000 a month. So, anyway,
awesome.
is all this making any sense? I get lost in it
But
sometimes.
that's 640s a year out there?
Huh?
That 640 is a year?
No.
Just because of the
No, the
That's
60
not-
what we pay.
No, he's talking about
Below it.
property taxes.
Property, yeah,
That's
down
640.
here.
Oh,
No, that's not
no,
all.
that's a total of what's in the
Oh, I
fund.
was like, how can they be in
We
business?
haven't-
Holy cow.
They pay around 170,000 a year.
Okay, so it's a good chunk of that.
And when they purchased the property, they had to pay off what Gulfville had not paid.
Oh,
So
really?
that's where that money.
So that's why
That's
that's
why it got
jumping
Yeah,
there.
That's where
Okay.
that grew.
Okay.
All of these numbers here in the 27 budget
Yeah.
will include the December this year
Mhm.
tax draw. And what you have to do is to make sure in the December tax draw, you have enough to start the next year. So sometimes it looks a little high, but it's for the, you gotta remember, it's an 18-month
Okay.
budget. I wanted to talk about Lowell Public Safety. Okay, here, when you were talking about, Michelle, if you
year,
go to the
yeah.
middle of that page, remember you have Lowell Public Safety. And when you see here, I budgeted 275,000.
Okay,
Because you saved that when you didn't use that for the fire truck.
right, okay.
And that's what you may want to sometime transfer out to a rainy day or to a
Okay,
Okay.
because that could be used for the
police car, fire truck.
fire truck if we're not able to.
It's not just truck, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
major.
Well, that's there basically because we found it a less expensive truck.
Yeah, true, true, good point. And that is opioid non-restricted on the back, that comes, we hardly get any of that anymore because if you get under 5,000, it goes directly to the county, so we don't get it anymore. But it has to stay on there. What I need for you to do is just take this, study it, and then at the August meeting, we'll just have a separate finance meeting and I can go through. She will give me the numbers, and Scott knows this, you have to have property tax caps figured into it. And I've done all that figuring, all that, I'm ready to meet with her.
Good.
And then I think I saw on the 15th is when they're going to release the LIT numbers. So
Okay.
right now, it's based on what I think it's gonna be.
Right.
Awesome.
What, are you ready for it?
That's a lot, but I'm glad to have this now so we can at least,
So now I want to talk about this sheet that's handwritten. I'm sorry, I just didn't have time to get it into a spreadsheet. When we were audited in 24, Ron and Michelle remember that we had what was called combined CDs. And that was, let's use the water. Instead of just water cash operating, there's water cash operating, water depreciation, and they don't like that because it doesn't track into the system. So they, in early 24, I sold all the CDs. Basically, that means I got rid of them. And then until the Wayne Street and the water project and everything was done, we didn't reinvest. But now I'm ready to reinvest.
Okay.
So what you have here, I wanted to make something so you can see what goes in behind my decisions to invest. This can be done by me, it doesn't take council action, but I want you as council to understand. So in the general fund, I see between the next 6 months, we will not need $500,000 of that money. So I would like to invest that. And I called PNC for 6 months, theirs was 3.60, BIPAS is 3.75. So I'm glad to know that it'll stay in BIPAS.
yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean you as council, our investment policy says it has to be a local bank or bank within the county. So that's what your investment, the local investment policy is. So anyway, the biggest amounts to come out of the general fund the rest of the year is the hydrant rental of $50,000. That's so much a hydrant, that's required by the state. The town, as an entity, has to rent the hydrants from the water utility. So hydrant rental is $50,000 to the water utility. And insurances were paid the first half, so that's not an issue. And then, of course, we have monthly revenue, certified shares, the LIT money. So all of that goes into how much to invest. So when I say there's 321,000 left, well, it's going to be plus 89,000 plus 84,000. So you're well covered, I think. And these are 6 months. If we had to open it for some reason I cannot expect, it wouldn't cost, the penalty would not be that great.
Okay.
MVH invest 300,000, and you can see that leaves 218, and there'll be 69,000 in the December property tax, and every month we get state distribution of $4,000, and then wheel tax of 1,600. So there's revenue going in there all the time. Low public safety is, we just basically talked about that. Invest 200, trying to get the most we can. They're not, I started to use the word dormant. They're not dormant funds, but funds we know we don't need now for 6 months. 200,000, and that leaves 30,000. But low at public safety we get from the county every month. CCD, the same thing. It's the same thing with all these.
Yes, yeah.
The TIF, and some of them I play around with, and I think, well, the TIF we could, but this will do. I want to talk about the water. The water, the cash operating part. You have to, within the water, there's different funds. The water is a fund, but within it. So the water cash operating would have, how do I want to put this? The monthly revenue, it would leave 255,000 in the water cash operating, but we have monthly revenue there of about 42,000. So in the end, we would be back up to that 500.
Right.
The water depreciation, I would like to, investing 250,000. Now, stop me because I get lost in this. The current amount is 354. We invest 250, and you say, well, that only leaves 104. Depreciation is used for anything that's going to be a fixed asset. So if you decide to buy a pickup truck out of water, it would come out of depreciation. Cash operating is what it's meant to be, cash op. But these two funds, the reason there's arrows here, water cash operating can transfer to water depreciation, or water depreciation can transfer to water cash operating. So while the depreciation goes down to 104, if you needed to, you would just transfer.
Okay.
Now the electric reserve, we need to talk about that. Currently, there is $1,300,000 invested in electric reserve. I need to close that because that's where your loan will come from. Okay? So then, I don't know what that meant, 1,000 to sewer. I don't know what that meant. Oh, 1 million to sewer. Yeah,
That would
yeah, I'm
leave
like
us-
1,000 to sewer. We're
That
gonna
would leave us 300,000 to invest, is what you're saying?
put in the reserve, yes.
Okay.
And then the cash operating has $1,020,000. So I would add 500,000 or invest 500,000.
Okay.
We haven't gone through this for a few years because of the audit and because of the way they changed the whatever. So anyway, the biggest cost out of the electric every month is for the purchase of power. Last month it was 120,000. This month it'll be more because of the heat. But it's
That means more revenues.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's revenue. Yeah. Estimated 6-month revenue is 540,000. So.
Well, so I did the math, 3.75% on a 500,000, that's $18,000 in 6 months. So if we add all these up, like what's our 6-month
Yeah, I'll get it
return
in
on
spring.
investment.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's a decent
Yes, it is.
amount.
And so I asked about a 12-month, and on some of it, I would entertain a year, but it's only 3, it's not that much.
Okay.
So it's safer,
Yeah.
it's actually, you make more by doing it 6 months.
Plus it's accessible quicker, so.
Yeah, if you need it, it's
Yeah.
not a big penalty then.
Okay.
Makes sense. And so you have to, these are all gonna be individual ones still, or no?
They
they're
have
gonna-
to be
They're all
individual.
individual, but not individual within
Yeah,
each
before it would have
fund.
been general motor vehicle highway, Lowit, and CCD and TIF could all be one CD.
Okay,
And now it can't.
okay. That makes sense.
So, I will be meeting with Patty and get these set up.
All right.
And
Okay.
so when you see your fund report, you'll now see investments listed here. That's what you're gonna see. You'll see a renewal down here of the 1,000,003 in electric, but you'll see an addition of the other.
So it's still accounted for in the fund.
So-
Oh, it's all, yeah, it's
It's
still.
still accounted for,
this
just because
over
we're
here is
taking
you're
it.
gonna
So
be-
that's gonna be the same, even though we're gonna have the big number here because
It will
it's
just not be-
Yeah,
still
this
there.
will be your
it's just in a
total
different area.
fund.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Just wanna make sure.
Yeah, what I have said before in these meetings is you look at the current balance, this is what you have, what's called cash on hand. And then you add your investments, and this is your balance.
Okay.
So your current balance becomes your operating cash.
So that'll go down, the investments will go up, and the
Yeah,
balance
this
will be
will
the
go
same.
down, this will come up, but you
Okay.
still come out with the same
Yep.
number over here.
Alrighty.
Okay?
Makes sense to me.
Okay, yep.
Okay, this took a while, but I'm pretty,
No, but
I'm
it's
pretty,
good.
I worked on it 2 or 3 days there. I
Okay.
think that's my plan.
Okay. All right. Other announcements, so our next meeting.
Okay, on the park.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
So, how is this gonna happen, that they're gonna start meeting and so forth?
We need to get a meeting scheduled, and then I think, Marilyn, have you heard from, I think we had talked about getting some dates from them. Have you reached out to
From
them?
who?
From park board members to getting that
Oh, I
all-
didn't know, I
No?
was,
Okay.
I thought I
No.
can.
I can do that. That's
Okay.
fine. That's not a
Yeah,
problem.
you'd,
I just,
thought you'd sit, yeah.
So you'll
Yeah,
reach
we
out
talked
to them
about-
and you guys will set something up?
yeah, plan is to get that set up, and then it'll be a monthly basis, at least for a little bit, to get
Okay.
the, plan.
Okay.
There's a meeting, or not a meeting, but like a fundraiser at the park.
Yes.
The first.
I can't
When
remember
that
the
was.
date.
For,
It's to raise money for the patronicity grant.
Yeah.
oh, awesome, okay.
So I
Now-
think we're gonna work on like a pickleball or disc golf or something.
Oh,
They're putting up volleyball nets.
The first.
First, so August first?
and,
So-
They're gonna put
and the
volleyball
thing
nets.
is patronicity, you've already,
Yeah.
pledged 10,000.
Okay.
So I just want everyone to know though that.
Yeah.
What time is
Show
I
up.
saw the flyer at the post
11
office.
to 2.
August
Yeah.
1st, 11 to 2, okay.
I'm not gonna be there playing pickleball. I watched pickleball on YouTube yesterday, and they said it's for older citizens and whatever. Huh?
Yeah, I played it once, I'm not sure it is.
You played it once.
I'm not sure they did.
I watched it and realized I was never gonna play it.
So with our adjustments we've made, I assume that you'll still do a lot of this, I mean, you're still gonna stay in touch with a lot of what's going on.
Well, yeah, I'll be here at all the meetings.
Okay,
Yeah,
'cause I
yeah,
mean,
no.
I'm not
Just-
real good, I'm not as good with all the paperwork.
Well,
Yeah.
but the thing is, as other presidents have done, when you just come in and we go through it.
Okay.
On Fridays, you're not always around on Fridays.
I'm
but-
usually around them sometime.
But anyway, with Harold and the past presidents, they just would come in and we'd go through the agenda.
Okay,
I'd be glad to do
that
that.
would be great.
Michelle didn't
Okay.
have, she had Scout and whatever,
My
but, yeah.
time
Okay.
does not work very well.
And usually,
Yeah.
I always went through it with Steve, although,
Okay, all
but, yeah.
right,
All right, and we're adjourned.
all right. Thank you.